Hi everyone, this is the third week of my personal deck challenge, and the deck that I used for this week is the Oracle of the Shapeshifters deck. That's what the back of the deck looks like. So I really love this deck anyhow, but this past week's work with it has really brought me a lot closer to the deck and the energies that are associated with it, and it's really made me just love this deck even more. And the artwork is so adorable and cute and wonderful, and it's actually a deck that I'm really looking forward to working with my son with when he's old enough to start working with the Oracle of the Shapeshifters deck. This is just one of the images, and it's absolutely beautiful. I just can't say enough good things about this deck, just like I've felt with all the past decks that I've worked with this deck challenge. But anyhow, this past week, was dealing with some, I guess stresses in the workplace would be kind of the way that I would describe it. And I'm just trying to find some of the cards that I drew. They're just not popping up this for me. Let's see. Little Owlin showed up on my Facebook page as well for the 4th. But she was around this week. Wisdom is light as a feather. And so I got a lot of really great advice and words of wisdom from people in my life that were very helpful over the past week in dealing with this. And the situation actually really organically and seamlessly resolved itself. And so that was a wonderful thing too. Wolf Moon showed up as well. And the messages are always really clear with Lucy Cavendish's decks. Just always, they make a lot of sense, and the guidebook that accompanies the deck is really wonderful as well. And so spending more time with the guidebook this past week, I really appreciated that as well, because I feel like I got some really clear sound advice from the deck as well as people in my life. So in that way, Little Owlin applied in multiple ways. And I really cannot find... Okay, here's Artemis of the Forest. Now you are independent and free. This also showed up on the Facebook page. And made so much sense because I had a healing session the previous night before I drew this card that deeply changed me and affected me for the better and caused a lot of physical healing in my life. I had been having a really irregular heartbeat for probably 2 weeks previous to this past week, and my dear friend and teacher Noreen had me come over, and she worked on me for probably almost 3 hours. She did some wonderful Reiki work and some past life work and some really great healing work, and just really changed my perspective and also resolved the irregular heartbeat. I mean, it hasn't come back. It's amazing. It's just amazing when how much Reiki is just incredible, and how much healing happens when you open up to that energy. And when someone who really loves Reiki and who works with it in a very true and deep way gives you Reiki, it's just amazing the experience that happens. And her past life work is incredible. So if you're looking for some past life work, I cannot recommend anyone else any higher than Noreen. Her past life work, you end up leaving the session and you have positive tools that you bring with you from the session. It's not... yes, perhaps some negative things come up, but it's not handled in a negative way. It's handled in a very positive way, and you're taking away joyous experiences as you leave from past lives that you can apply to this life. So her past life work was really deeply healing for me. And then this card showed up the next day, Artemis of the Forest, and it just made so much sense and kind of helped me to have a new outlook. And especially because I'm teaching a Reiki training tomorrow, which will be Sunday. I really appreciated getting this card and that healing work. It helped me to change my perspective and really come from a place of just opening up to spirit as far as teaching goes, and not needing, not needing to worry about how clear I'm going to sound or having everything written out, but instead really letting it be about just whatever comes that day that spirit directs you to share and to teach to others. So I appreciated that. The other card that showed up that was really helpful for me last week was Little Red Riding Hood, I Am Not a Victim. Lots of wolves showed up last week, and I really appreciated the message with this card because a lot of the work situation really was helpful to not be in that victim space, but to be in a proactive space. And also with motherhood as well, to not get into the space of, I don't know how I'm going to do everything, and to be in that kind of martyr space with that, and end up feeling really bad for myself. This card really helped me to step out of that space and to instead be thankful for all the time that I have to get everything done. And I'm working with that, and I'm being able to do that, which is wonderful. I'm so blessed in my life right now, and always being able to work where I work, which is an amazing place. Offer tarot readings and oracle card readings for people. Be in a state of constantly learning and being open to new energy, especially spiritually. And now with teaching my first official Reiki Level 1 training this weekend, it's just such a beautiful space to be in, and I am so deeply thankful and excited. And of course also with being a mom and just getting to know my son and his beautiful personality. And he is almost 4 months old now, and he is just such a natural healer, and he brings such joy to everyone who comes in contact with him. And that is the most amazing miracle and such a beautiful gift. And I'm so thankful that I get to really understand what it's like to be in the place and the space of motherhood, and just how much giving of yourself you're able to do, and how you receive so much more by giving in that way to another being. And just really wanting to watch him grow and be who he wants to be, and me not needing to make him into something else, but just letting him be himself. So this past week, obviously, I've talked a lot more about just this deck, but it all has to do with this deck because a lot of the cards I was drawing were really helping me to open up. They were assisting my change and my growth, and so I really, really appreciate and love working with this deck. And I have to say, I think over the course of this month's work with the deck so far, this Oracle of the Shapeshifters deck and my work with my Tarot of the Vampires deck has really, really been super clear and really effective. It's Tallulah, sorry. And so I'm deeply appreciative for working with these decks. So for this week, which will be ending tomorrow, but I've already drawn my last card for the week. I've been working with the Isis Oracle deck. If you check out my Facebook page, I'm doing daily draws with that deck. And so I will be talking in the next video about my work with the Isis deck, which, as if you follow me, you know that that is quite possibly one of my favorite decks of all time, besides Tarot of the Vampires. And so it's been a really, really interesting week working with that deck. Lots of really clear answers. So I hope you're all doing well. And if you're also participating in the deck challenge, leave a comment below or post a response. Let me know what decks you're working with and the experiences that you've been having. If you want to see the daily draws, you can check out my Facebook page. It's Artist Owl Moon. And try to post also moon phases and things like that as I can. Also the astrological signs the moon's in for each day if I can. I really think that has a lot to do with our energy, especially if we're female. And it does if you're male too, so I'm not discluding you from that. But especially if you're female, it really gives you a clue into where you are energetically. So I've been trying to post and talk about that a little bit more too. Talk about the Sabbats on there and all that kind of good stuff. So you can check that out if you want. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.